Alright, so good morning everyone. My name is Seth Drake. Normally I have a PowerPoint presentation to go with this, but at no one else's fault but my own, I called Dan too late last night and could not get the projector. So, I'm going to do this without it. Hope you guys can follow. Basically, I am an acupuncturist and a practitioner of traditional Chinese medicine. I have been practicing in my own private practice for almost 2 years now. I hold a master's degree, Master's of Science in Oriental Medicine from Southwest Acupuncture College. Basically what this degree consists of is 3,500 plus hours of education plus about 1,000 hours of clinical training through a 4-year program that takes you through Western physiology, pathology, diagnosis, Chinese medical physiology, pathology, diagnosis, all kinds of OSHA, HIPAA regulations, clean needle techniques, board exams, everything you could possibly imagine. It was a long 4 years of my life. So I'll tell you a little bit about my background, why I chose to become a practitioner of Chinese medicine. I grew up here in Colorado. Been in Colorado since I was about 5 years old, originally from Lubbock, Texas. And when I was about 8 years old, 9 years old, I got really involved in martial arts due to my little brother. I wasn't really an interest of mine. He thought he wanted to try it out because he watched Power Rangers. And so my mom kind of forced me into doing it with them. And then after that time, I got really interested in East Asian culture, basically. And that has stuck with me for my entire life. I ended up growing about 6 inches in the summer when I was 14 years old. Had a lot of growing pains. Ended up going to a physical therapist and got some really good results out of that. And so from that point, I knew that I kind of wanted to be in the medical field. And by the time I got to college, I was like, okay, I'm going to physical therapy school. I was in CU, went to CU, was in their integrated physiology program, it was like a pre-med track, kind of trying to get into physical therapy school, and was just miserable. Hated CU, didn't like it, huge school, wasn't working for me. So what I ended up doing was taking a timeout, and timeout is a thing at CU where you can basically drop out without unenrolling and pursue other interests. And so I just enrolled in acupuncture school here in Boulder, and didn't really look back after that. So that's kind of how I got into Chinese medicine. Chinese medicine has the physical therapy component that I like so much that I kind of fell in love with from having the physical therapy work done. And it also has a very, very, very strong internal medicine component. Chinese medicine is a medicine that is roughly 3,000 years old, give or take 1,000 years. It's really hard to say when it first came about, but there are texts that go all the way back to about 50 BC. Okay? There are these scrolls that are divided into, it's called the Neijing, the internal classic, basically. These scrolls were from the Yellow Emperor's court in about 50 to 100 BC. These two texts are divided into one text called the Ling Shu and the other text called the Su Wen, the Miraculous Pivot and the Divine Classic. These two texts lay out in 50 BC human anatomy, the approximate size and weight of each organ, the circulation of blood in the body, what all the organs do, how to treat these organs, how people get sick, what to do when they get sick, and how to prolong life. The Chinese medicine that is practiced today is this medicine that was found on these scrolls. So this is not a medicine necessarily to put a Band-Aid on something and send someone out the door. This is a medicine that was devised by the emperor's court and the physicians at that time to keep the emperor living a long life, okay? To keep him being able to bear children into his 90s, okay? Chinese have this whole thing about big families and propagation and carrying on lineages and stuff. So the first thing to keep in mind about Chinese medicine is it's first and foremost a life medicine. It keeps you healthy lifelong. Okay? The second thing to remember is that Chinese medicine is capable of treating most things. Okay? The one thing it's not really good at treating is cancer. It's not. You need to go see a Western doctor for that. But because of the long extended period of time that China was cut off from the rest of the world, did not allow trade to come in, they were able to develop through different areas of China all these different theories on what health is, how the body works, how to treat illness, and all this stuff. So there's thousands of years of medical trials, clinical experience, stuff that was time tested that shows that if this person has a cold and they're showing symptoms of a sore throat, you do this. If this person is constipated and they're showing these symptoms, you do this. It's very regimented, okay? Nothing is, it's, as with anything, there's always shades of gray, but it's very clear what to do with someone. There are 4 things to Chinese medicine, okay? First part is acupuncture. This is the most commonly known. It gets the most press. Why? Because we're sticking needles in people, okay? Everyone's gonna pay attention to that, okay? Acupuncture is first and foremost a physical therapy. It's used for physical pain, okay? It can be used for internal problems, and it does get used that way, but it is most effective for physical pain. Anything from back pain, neck pain, foot pain, calf pain, digestive pain, anything. Tennis elbow, golfer's elbow. It is extremely effective in doing this. And the way that it does this is through the circulation of blood. Okay? The one thing that acupuncture has been lumped into is this idea of an energy medicine. Qi does exist. It is very much a real, tangible thing that you can feel and see if you know what you're looking for. But in today's world, Qi does not get you into the American Medical Association. Okay? What gets credit is real, testable things at physiology, and that's blood circulation, that's nervous system function, that's digestion, that's respiratory function. These are all the things that acupuncture works to regulate. By sticking a needle in someone, we put a needle, let's say, in someone's arm, okay? What happens when this needle goes into someone's arm is that we're going through tissues, different tissues, skin, fascia, going near veins and blood vessels and near nerves and near bone. All of this has nervous system innervation, okay? And there are 2 main types of nerves that acupuncture works on. One is a C fiber and the second is an A delta fiber. When these 2 nerves are stimulated, 2 types of nerves are stimulated, we have a response that goes to the spinal cord. From the spinal cord it goes up to the brain. In the brain we trigger motor neurons. These motor neurons fire and basically we're jump-starting the body to pay attention to an area again. And then what happens is a cascading effect of hormones and blood circulation and painkillers that go to specific areas of the body that induce the healing process. That's a very Western approach and look at what acupuncture does. Now, from the Chinese side, we're moving Qi. We're moving Qi and blood. The second thing to Chinese medicine is Chinese herbal medicine. Okay? A couple weeks ago, a month ago, when I started talking about allergies, this is how I treat allergies. It's with Chinese herbs. Okay? Chinese herbs have a very, very long history of trial and error. Most of these herbs are native to China and are grown in China. Chinese herbal medicine is very much a botanical-based type of medicine where we are removing toxins, replenishing vital substances such as blood, functionings of the organs, cleaning the body out. There are herbs to vasodilate arteries, work on the heart, all kinds of stuff. You can really do a lot with Chinese herbal medicine, and this is the biggest part of my practice, is the herbs. Acupuncture is a physical therapy. It is a complement to the herbs. Okay? Now, the third part of Chinese medicine is certain types of body work. I do a little bit of body work in my practice. The type of body work that I practice is called tuina. It's Tuina. It's 2 Chinese words. It means to grasp and seize. Basically, it is a very mild form of chiropractic medicine with no adjusting. Is what it would be similar to. The fourth thing that comprises Chinese medicine is nutrition. Chinese medicine has laid out the energetics of food, basically, and how these foods affect different organs and functions of the body. So you can very much use food as a medicine. In my practice, I will do this if this is necessary, but most of the time people kind of throw up their hands when I start tweaking with their diets. They don't like it for some reason. The other thing that I do in my practice is weight loss. And sometimes when people aren't getting results, it's just because they have a little too much fat on them. And how I do this is a high protein based diet. Lots of meat and vegetables, and that's all you eat. You do this correctly, you will start shedding weight to the point where your body doesn't shed it anymore. So, a little thing for everyone, if you want to lose weight and you want to go on a diet, to specifically lose weight, you eat high animal protein, okay? Red meat, eggs, fish, chicken, stuff like that. And then you add about 60 to 70% of your plate, and then the other 40 to 30% is vegetables. If you ever want to lose weight, just do that. Don't eat anything else, no alcohol, and you will lose weight.
Wait.
That's the problem.
What does that have to do with eating?
You can't drink alcohol.
Red alcohol?
The whole idea is you want to get sugar out of your diet. Alcohol metabolizes this sugar. So when someone comes into my office, the first thing that I do is explain this to them. Okay, what Chinese medicine is. Because a lot of times people come in and they either don't know anything about Chinese medicine, or they have some skewed idea of what acupuncture is. Okay? So I'm going to pick a few people here and put them on the spot. Someone, just raise your hand if you've never had acupuncture before. 1, 2, 3. Okay, you 3. What is your first thought about acupuncture?
Needles.
What is your first thought about acupuncture? Pens.
Needles.
Needles. Okay, everyone's scared of needles. The reason that I go through this, someone comes into my office, the first thing we do before any needles are inserted, before any treatment plan is laid out, is I explain what Chinese medicine is. Okay? Having a firm understanding of what we're doing, of what I'm doing, and not just putting needles in people, is extremely helpful for people as far as education goes, to understand why I'm doing the things that I'm doing. Okay? I coach everyone through the entire treatment process. I am extremely open about this stuff, and I don't know what this thing is right here. It's kind of scary looking or something. And I find it just very important for people to feel like they know what they're getting themselves into. Okay? So basically, what happens? What happens in a treatment with me? Someone comes in, we go through a consultation that takes an hour. Okay? I charge for this sometimes I don't. It just depends. It depends on how the referrals happen. And then we'll go through a whole health history questionnaire. I'll take your pulse, I'll look at your tongue, and tell you whether or not I can help you. Most of the times I'll say, I think I can. You sign up for 4 or 5 visits to see if it's effective. Okay? In that amount of time, you'll know whether or not it's going to work. And you're not out of pocket that much money. Okay? If in 4 or 5 visits, you do show some results, the pain subsides, digestion improves, whatever you're coming in for, sleep improves, then what happens is we'll lay out a treatment plan. Treatments in acupuncture go in a range of 3 things. First is the recovery phase, is the relief care. Second is the corrective phase, this is where we correct the problem. And third is the maintenance care. Now, it's completely up to the patient if they want to go through all of these stages of care. Most people just kind of opt out after the relief care once they're out of pain. But if it is something that is a big problem, you might want to stick around for all these phases of care. A course of treatment can last anywhere from 5 to about 30 treatments, depending on the problem. Chinese medicine is a natural medicine. We're using the body to heal itself. We're not giving you drugs. We're not forcing the body to do anything that's unnatural, basically. I do accept insurance. So anyone that is in Anthem, United, Optimum, Cigna, I believe. Okay? So basically, people come into my office with one problem. Let's say their heel hurts. And after we get done with the intake, I'll tell them what I find. And if the person is interested, and most of the times they do, they'll stick around. They want to improve their sleep. They want to improve their mood. They want to improve their back pain. And this is all very much possible with Chinese medicine. It just takes a little bit of time. And the problem that I find the most is that people are kind of geared into the mindset of instant gratification when it comes to healthcare. And that has mostly been because of Western medicine, surgeries, drugs, quick office visits. No offense, doctor. But when you're approaching health from a natural point of view, it does take a little bit of time. And I'm completely honest about that. Okay. So just keep in mind that the standard emergency room visit in the U.S. is anywhere between $1,000 and $15,000 for one time. You come into my office, see me for 5 visits, you're going to be spending less than $300. Okay? So, does anyone have any questions?